Welcome back, pro wrestling fans. Welcome back, IWC. It's your old buddy, the Guardian of Chaos, Big Daddy. And I tell it like it is. I'll say that to say this. One man, unique, unedited, unscripted, raw dog for you, the fans. Here on Guardian of Chaos, the YouTube channel for Chaos Corner, and another episodic YouTube adventure. Today, we're going to do a preview and prediction show for AEW All Out, coming to you live tomorrow afternoon from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, if I'm not mistaken. We have a lot to cover and to get over here on this show to preview and predict. There's 13 matches on All Out, 10 on the main show and 3 on the pre-show 0 hour tornado tailgate brawl, I guess is what they're calling it. So sit back and relax. I'm here as a temporary distraction and stress reliever. Grab your friends. Grab your family. Tell all your buddies. Drop an elbow on that like button. Share, subscribe, get us into the algorithm, leave a comment. Shout out to my mods, Austin Nance, my brother from another mother, and of course the OTS Tribal Queen for holding it down, keeping it real, and maintaining. Follow me over on X at Big Daddy GOC, and the GOC stands for the Guardian of Chaos, and I post and report over there almost every day, as I do here in the post section on the community page. Become a member. It's only $2.99. I mean, it's the best way to support the channel. Not needed, but much appreciated. We're going to jump off all the platforms, even over on Facebook, where you can follow me as Jay Brony. Meet me back here on the channel. As I was saying about Facebook fans, I want you to go over Facebook. I know it's not for everyone. I keep it positive. It's about family and friends, and of course about social media presence and promoting all the events that I'm involved with and the things that I report on. So I would like it if you go over there, Jabroni, just like it sounds, for all you pencil necks and jabronis and geeks and goons and virgins and neckbeards and mouth breathers. I mean, go out and act like you've touched a pair of tits before. I mean, no offense, man. What I say, kayfabe. And of course, in honor of my heritage, my second account, a little more personal if you want to be in that club, Prodigio Fidelis El Guardian. That's right, Prodigio Fidelis El Guardian. Let's get down to brass tacks. I'm going to try to do this in one part. Preview and predictions. Everybody's oversaturating the market because of WrestlePalooza and AEW All Out, and SmackDown is on tonight. We just came out of Dynamite and Collision and TNA Impact and Monday Night Raw and everything else that's going on out there, from NXT to, I don't know, Ring of Honor, New Japan, MLW, the NWA. It's a lot going on. Not to mention the territorial system of the independents, which is flourishing. That's another story for another time. Go back and check out my opening monologue. You're not going to want to miss it. And then, of course, a little rant about the WWE and ESPN and Saudi Arabia and WrestleMania and so on and so forth. You're not going to want to miss the news and notes from the WWE, and of course the opening monologue. And after this, I will be back with a preview, a full preview and prediction show for tomorrow night's WrestlePalooza. I mean, what a weekend, directly going against each other. There's a lot of conjecture on there, but I'm going to jump right into it. All Out, tomorrow afternoon. Here are the 3 bouts scheduled to take place on the Tornado Tailgate Brawl. We have a women's bout. Willow Nightingale teams up with Mina Shirakawa, Harley Cameron, and Queen Aminata as they take on Julia Hart, Sky Blue, Penelope Ford, and Megan Bayne. who's got legs like kegs and shoulders like boulders. Boy, have they blown it with that as far as pushing her and making her into some sort of heel monster in the women's division. And then to have this kind of match in the Tornado Tailgate Brawl, whatever you want to call it, I mean, it's just thrown together so you can get all the women from the women's division on here that are forgotten about. Because on every AEW pay-per-view, TK's got to have 50, 60, 70 grapplers and have the pay-per-view go for 5 or 6 hours. And now who knows where you're going to get it, HBO Max, whatever they're trying to do as far as pay-per-views and changing everything around. And we'll get into WWE, ESPN, and all the different apps, and everybody's scrambling. We'll get into that on the next preview show for WrestlePalooza. I'm here for AEW All Out, for you sickos out there. So this match is just thrown together. Each an individual lady here, talent, is good enough in their own right, especially Megan Bayne. Throwing Willow Nightingale, a solid worker, same as Queen Aminata, Shirakawa. I mean, Julia Hart. What are we doing here with this match? Is it about TNA and not the company? So that's one of the matches on Tornado Tailgate Brawl, this women's 8-way tag team matchup. Also on Tailgate Brawl, you have Samoa Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs not defending the Trios title in a Trios match, although they're the Trios champions, against the Work Horsemen. When was the last time we seen them? On AEW Dark or Rampage or something like that? JD Drake and whoever the other guy is? So Joe and Hobbs take on the Workhorsemen on the pre-show, the Tornado Tailgate Brawl. Obviously, I'm taking Samoa Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs. I mean, this is a wasted match that does not belong on the pay-per-view. Same thing with the ladies' bout, the 4-way. Do you go with the heels or the faces in the women's 4-way? Does it really matter? I'm going to go with Willow, Shirakawa, Cameron, and Aminata. Although it wouldn't stun me if the bad girls, especially with Megan Bayne, who should be a future champion, and maybe she will be, you need to re-get the momentum from that gal. So there's the first couple of predictions there for the Tornado Tailgate Brawl. Also on the Tornado Tailgate Brawl before the main event, it's Daniel Garcia against Shibata 3. Their third encounter, 3. That's right, I said it. Now we see lately that Garcia is being coaxed by the Death Riders, aka the BCC. I'm not sure why they're having Garcia and Shibata, which will be a solid bout, but certainly no charisma, no anything from either one of these guys. They can grapple like that. That's about it. But why have Joe and Hobbs not defending the Trios title with Shibata and making that into a Trios titles match? At least it's for a title. But Garcia, Shibata 3, now I know why it's on the Tornado Tailgate Brawl 0-hour pre-show. And since they're pushing Garcia towards the BCC, the Death Riders, whatever, I'm going to predict that Daniel Garcia comes out in what will be a very stiff and non-selling bout between Garcia and Shibata. So I'll take Garcia. So there you have it for the 3 bouts on the Tornado Tailgate Brawl pre-show from All Out. Let's get on to the main card. We have Big Bill, and you can't teach that. I'm sure Brian Keith, a.k.a. the Bad Apple, is going to be somewhere around as he takes on, we haven't seen him in well over a year, the returning Eddie Kingston. No story with this. No psychology behind it. Keep an eye on Big Bill. I don't know how much longer he's going to be in AEW. I got a funny feeling about Big Bill. He's in the best shape of his life. Tony doesn't really know how to book, or his writers know how to book the big guys. Kingston just coming back. I don't see him losing his return bout unless there's some sort of interference by the Bad Apple. But this is where you have Big Bill, because they're both from New York City, so he's going to call him out. No story to this whatsoever, and doesn't belong on the pay-per-view. I'd like to say Big Bill without a doubt. Especially if there's some sort of fuck finish. But I'm going to take Eddie Kingston in his return. The Mad King. It's been a long time for Kingston. I can't see him losing. Again, unless the bad apple is somewhere milling about. That's my prediction for that. Then we have on the main show Mercedes Sasha Varnado Banks Monet as she takes a real konnichiwa bitches. Who looks like a schoolgirl, a Joshi, whatever. I mean, she's been around for a while, but what is she, about 5'1", maybe 110 pounds? Again, she just shows up out of nowhere. Must have got her visa back from the land of the rising sun, the Orient, if you will. And so she's back. And I get it. In the beginning, she was the first women's champion. I understand all that. But how is this any match for Mercedes Monet in the TBS Championship when Monet's been running through every woman in the division? From Statlander to Willow to Megan Bain to the Ring of Honor girl Athena, a.k.a. Ember Moon. So what makes us think that Riho is going to win this TBS championship? And if she does, I didn't have that on my bingo card. Why? To free up Monet to go for the women's world title against Toni Storm? Horseshit. Again, no psychology, no backstory on this, no anything. So I'm going to take Mercedes, 9 belts, 10 belts, Monet, Sasha. I'm going to take Monet over Riho. Hello, McFly. Is anybody home? This is a no-brainer, in my opinion. Then we have the 4-way match for the tag team titles, which I believe shouldn't have been taken off the Hurt Syndicate to begin with, but this is where we are, leading into All Out. You have Brody King, and King is no Brody, whether you like him or not. I'm just telling you. Another one like Sami Zayn and other guys in the WWE, Punk, whoever, King, who want to push their personal agenda on somebody else's dime and time, and especially for the fans, when we're trying to escape that. That's just my opinion. Keep it to yourself. Keep it on your own personal timeline. Put it on X or Instagram or something. Why in character on TV, and why is it allowed? And this is the problem with this country, and this is what's happened to the world of pro wrestling. It's got an agenda. And a lot of these guys have a personal agenda that's being pushed, whether it's Pride, with Anthony Bowens, this or that. Nobody gives a fuck. Keep it on your own time. You're getting paid by the company and by the fans for us to escape that. Suspension of disbelief. Not only is WWE giving it away of what they're trying to tell you and then sell to you and then tell you how they did it. And the same thing here with AEW, and that's just my personal opinion. So the tag team champions, King and Bandito, what do they call them? Bodito? I don't know. They take on Bailey Speedball Kung Fu Fighting and Kevin Knight against Hechicero and Josh Alexander, who's certainly not Mr. Charisma, but he'll stretch you in the ring. From the Callis family, and Matthew and Nicholas, the Young Bucks. So there's the 4-way. So that means that the champs, King and Bandito, don't even have to take the pinfall. I'm assuming those are the rules in this 4-way for the tag team titles. King and Bandito, I believe, are a transitional championship team. My opinion. Although the fans seem to like them, they've only teamed up about a half dozen times, and they're already tag team champions. Hechicero and Alexander, no way. Callis stable is nothing but a bunch of mid-card guys that are used the wrong way. And that's just the way I see it. 8, 9, 10, 12 guys in his stable. Why don't you shave a few of the guys off and let's really concentrate on being a heel team stable a la the Heenan family. But that's not what they're going to do. So I believe here, because they're pushing it, they're making a comeback as they went from the EVPs, the Elites, down to a bunch of J-Bones, so to speak, and that whole characterization they're trying to do of the Young Bucks, losing everything to make a comeback. And I'm going to predict that the Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, regain the AEW World Tag Team Championships at AEW All Out. Now, would I be surprised if King and Bandito retain? I would be. I think they're transitional. Although, I don't know, sometimes Tony will run with it. For the sickos. For the 500,000 of you that are watching a week, if that's what it is. But in this four-way, I'm going to call the four-time tag team champions, I'm taking the Young Bucks. That's just the way I feel about it in that tag team match. Then we have a trios bout, but yet you're not having a trios bout for the trios championship. And now the former tag team champions are in a trios bout against a stable that's been thrown together and really have done nothing. You have Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and MVP. Maybe that's why Jericho left, when MVP knocked him on his ass not too long ago on a Jericho cruise. But anyway, they like to hurt people. The Hurt Syndicate take on Ricochet and the GOA. Not to be confused with the GOC. The Gorillas of Anarchy, Destiny, whatever they're called. I don't know. Toa Leona, Sean Kramer, whatever their guys are. Two big dudes. Two guys in great shape. Ricochet, kind of annoying. I think he's lost its way. Although he's done some decent heel work, he's kind of a joke and a clown act right now. Just my opinion. No way do Ricochet and the GOA go over on Lashley, Benjamin, and MVP. I just don't see another match that was thrown together. Why is MVP, who's basically a manager, as I play with the chains that represent my life in this country right now, why would they have the Hurt Syndicate lose? This has really turned into a clusterfuck of what they've done with these guys. 3 ways, 4 ways, 8 ways. I mean, it's just too much. Whatever happened to a traditional tag team, traditional 6-man tags, traditional singles matchups, instead of all these 3 ways, 4 ways, etc., which they've been trending on for weeks now. So I'm going to take the Hurt Syndicate because I like to hurt people too. Then, again, speaking of all different kinds of matchups, we have a 4-way for the AEW Women's World Championship. The timeless one, Toni Storm, who really is quite the actress and maybe should be in movies, although she's one of the best female grapplers in ring in the world. She certainly likes to push the limit, and especially in these women's matches, doing the hardcore with staples to the gash and so on and so forth in the ass, if you know what I'm talking about. No offense, man. I'm just calling it like I see it. I give you the good, the bad, and the ugly here on the channel. So Toni Storm goes against a former blonde into kind of looking like Daphne or whatever her name was from Scooby-Doo, Jamie Hayter, Thekla, who has made an impact, and they've kind of booked her okay, moving her fast like they have every other woman before her, from Megan Bain to Harley Cameron to Julia Hart to Sky Blue to Willow to Statlander, and they've all been screwed over in the end, including Athena. It's all about the Monet. No? And you're going to get Monet and Storm soon? Again, who knows? Also in that match, Chris Statlander, boop! Remember when she was the alien? Boop! She's come a long way from there. 4 incredible women athletes. You guys watch for the lace and the garters and the dental floss that they wear for outfits in there. I watch for their physical talent, for the wrestling ability, and respect the women that get in the ring. I don't know about the rest of you out there who act like you never got a sniff before. Go touch some grass. Get a girlfriend. Will you please talk to somebody? Instead of watching it just because you guys are all gooned up, jacked up, breaking out your sock in your bedroom. I'm just calling it like I see it. I'm not trying to offend anybody. But just generation, 35 and under, 30 and under, you got these got your heads up your ass. No offense, man. I'm not the old man brand, the over 50, 60 demo god for no reason. I'm giving you my personal opinions, and that's why you're here. This show's different than anyone else because I've been an insider. I've been in the ring. I've taken the fucking bumps, and I still know a lot of people and have connections to the current industry. Remember that. Credibility. Anyway, Toni Storm defends against Jamie Hayter, Thekla, and Chris Statlander in a 4-way. I don't see any way that Toni Storm loses this 4-way. They're heading towards her and Monet. Let's face it. This could be and should be